To the parents and families joining us today, both in person and on our live stream, thanks for being here today. Your support and encouragement play such a crucial role in the success of our students, and we are very grateful for your partnership. Teachers, you are mentors and the inspiration behind the achievements that we're celebrating today. Your unwavering dedication to the education and personal development of our students is nothing short of extraordinary. Now, turning our attention to the stars of our ceremony today, our students. Each of you are part of what makes our school such an exceptional place to be. The students that are receiving awards today are being recognized for consistently demonstrating our character traits for the months of September, October, and November, both in the classroom and on the school bus. These character traits include respect, responsibility, acceptance, inclusion, and gratitude. If your name is called today, we're going to ask you to come up to the front and walk up the stairs over there behind the piano and come right up here onto the stage so Mrs. Trigo can give you your certificate, okay? And then I will read all of the wonderful things that your teacher said about you. Friends and family, please hold your applause until we have all of the grade level up here and all of the nominations have been read, and then we will give them a big round of applause, and you're welcome to take pictures. So as you're sitting here today, I want you to please remember how important it is to be a good audience member. So we are really excited for our classmates that are receiving awards today, and we can show that with a round of applause. Can you show me a nice, respectful round of applause? That is perfect. Nice job. So we can show our friends that we appreciate all of their hard work and their effort by giving them a round of applause. And I want you all to remember that you are part of what makes our school wonderful, and you still have a lot of time to be able to earn a recognition like this throughout our school year. So we want everyone to keep working hard and doing their best. All right? So with that, let's start our ceremony. We are so excited to have with us this morning our 3 pre-K friends for the very first time. So we're going to recognize them here, and then we're going to send them back to their class because the assembly could be a bit long for them to sit around. So let's start by recognizing our pre-K and our UPK students. First, we have, recognized by Ms. Anderson, Harper Potenza. Ms. Anderson says that Harper shows responsibility every day by making sure her belongings are always picked up and put away. Great job, Harper. Ms. Anderson would also like to recognize Allison Briggs for respect. She says that Allison does a fantastic job of always showing respect to her teachers and her classmates. Our UPK nomination from Ms. Andrews, we will start with Josephine Woodward being acknowledged for respect and responsibility. Ms. Andrews says Josephine is a kind and helpful, respectful girl. She is always choosing to do what's right. Josephine shows her friends what a good friend looks like and sounds like. Her light shines brightly in pre-K. Great job, Josephine. And Ms. Andrews would also like to recognize Joseph Hammer for respect and responsibility. She says Joseph is a shining star in pre-K. He's a good listener, classroom helper, and works hard to do his job every day. Joseph is a great friend to all. Way to go, Joseph. Let's give a big round of applause for our 3 pre-K and UPK award recipients. If you want to snap a picture, you're welcome to do that right now. Can you guys smile really big? Show everyone your awards. All right, good job. Can you guys walk over to Miss Tiffany and go down the stairs very carefully? Okay, next up, we are going to recognize our kindergarten recipients. First up, Mrs. Stolarczyk would like to recognize Carson Quinn for respect and responsibility. Carson's not here today, but I'm still going to read what his teacher said about him. She said that Carson speaks in a respectful and kind tone to peers and adults. He also takes tremendous responsibility in completing his work by staying on task and putting forth his best effort. Mrs. Stolarczyk would also like to recognize Evelyn Briggs for respect and responsibility. Mrs. Stolarczyk says, Evelyn is a respectful and kind student. She is always heard using good manners and speaking in a kind tone. Evelyn also treats all of our classroom materials appropriately and is reliable in completing classroom jobs. Way to go, Evelyn. Let's give a big round of applause for Evelyn. Okay, and now we are going to recognize our first graders. Mrs. Kinter would like to start by recognizing Easton Bush for respect and responsibility. She says, Easton is always respectful to his classmates and his teachers. He is a role model to others and is responsible for his learning and materials by always being on task. Great job, Easton. Mrs. Kinter would also like to recognize Hadley Vanderwerf for respect and responsibility. Hadley is kind and respectful. She always tries to help others. She tries her best in everything that she does and always demonstrates the Windsor expectations. Yay, Hadley. Mrs. Mickey would like to recognize Erin Morales Warden for respect and responsibility. She says that Erin is a respectful student to everyone, students and adults. He tries his hardest in everything he does and takes responsibility for his own learning. Erin is a role model for all. And finally, Mrs. Mickey would like to recognize Parker Noy. So Parker is also not with us today, but I'm going to read what her teacher wrote about her. She said that Parker is always making smart choices, caring for those around her, and taking responsibility for her own learning. She is a role model for others to follow and very respectful to students and adults. Can we have a big round of applause for our first graders? You can take pictures. Fine. Smile not too big. Good job. All right, nice job, first graders. You can go back to your seat. So next up, we have some special area awards. So these include our special area teachers, our STEM teachers, and our other teachers throughout the building. So we are going to start by recognizing Ava Harding, who is being recognized by Mrs. Saracino for responsibility. Ava, come on up the stairs and come get your certificate. Miss Saracino says that Ava is the hardest working little artist. She will work and work on her coloring or project right up until her teacher comes at the end of class. Her attention to detail is amazing for a kindergartner. I know I will see big artistic things coming for her in years to come. For music, Mr. Brandon would like to recognize Bentley Malone for respect and inclusion. He's not here today either. I think a lot of our friends are feeling under the weather. But Mr. Brandon says that Bentley is always respectful and serves as a role model and a leader in music class. He always includes others by offering a helping hand to his classmates. Mrs. Stevens would like to recognize Evan Sisson for gratitude and acceptance. She says, as a new to school kindergarten student, Evan has done an amazing job at learning that we need to take turns and we do not need to keep the same things. Keep growing, Evan. Mrs. Abdullah would like to recognize Bentley Harris for respect. She says that Bentley has made huge improvements in his reading this quarter. Not only is he reading better, but he is also a model of respect during our important reading time. Mrs. Munson would like to recognize Eastland Stevens for responsibility and gratitude. Mrs. Munson says Eastland is always excited and ready to come to speech. She lines up quickly and is enthusiastic and focused when practicing her sound. She also thinks of extra words for additional practice. Awesome job, Eastland. Big round of applause for all of our special area winners. Smile nice and big. All right. You can make your way back down the stairs. Make sure you hold on to the railing, okay? All right, now we are going to recognize our STEM recipients. So our first winner of this award is being recognized by Mr. Thompson, and this is Johnny Hyris for responsibility. Mr. Thompson says Johnny is doing a wonderful job in coding. Mr. Marcotte would like to recognize Harper Liddick for respect and responsibility. He says that Harper explores things during engineering class with a safe, thoughtful, and focused mindset. Mr. Marcotte would also like to recognize Wyatt McConnell for respect and responsibility. Mr. Marcotte says Wyatt explores engineering class with a safe, thoughtful, and focused mindset. Nice big round of applause for all of our STEM winners. Hey, smile nice and big. All right, good job, everyone. You can walk back down the stairs, okay? Make sure you hold on to the railing and be careful. Okay, so our final awards today come from the bus. So remember, we talk a lot about all our expectations here in school, but our expectations are the same on the bus, right? Because it's really important that we're riding to and from school very safely. So the following students are being recognized by their bus driver for demonstrating our character traits on the school bus. So first, we'd like to recognize from bus 281 with Miss Molly Logan Keith for respect. Miss Molly says Logan always has a smile and a good morning when she gets on the bus. Mr. Skinner on bus 277 would like to recognize Ava Harding for respect. Mr. Corey says that Ava always listens and follows the rules on the school bus. And Miss Becca on bus 301 would like to recognize Cullen Van Zandt for responsibility. She says he always sits with her sister, even if he doesn't want to, and makes sure that they both ride the bus safely. Can we have a big round of applause for our bus award winners? All right. You can go ahead and walk down the stairs. And that concludes our quarter one student recognition ceremony. We are so proud of all of our winners. Can we give them all one more big round of applause? Again, we want to thank thank the family members and friends that came out today and joined us to recognize, and those who joined us on our live stream. We look forward to recognizing more students over the next 3 quarters, and having all of our friends follow the expectations and lead by example so that you can stand up here and be recognized as well. So I'm going to invite all of our students to leave the auditorium first. You can snap pictures of them on their way out, and then once they've exited, you're welcome to make your way out the back doors and out the front door. If you're staying for the next ceremony, it will start around 10 o'clock. All right, so with that, if we want our pre-K friends can start their way out, and then we'll go kindergarten and then first grade. Have a great day, everyone.
dad was cracking me up. He should have. There's a thing on the kids home with it. They got those chairs and everything. There's a sideboard too. New chairs. That I bet the Jeff's always doing that. That's for the kids. So mother, you know, that's what you have to do. Christopher's I think it really comes to Christopher. Christmas. It's not easy. That's for sure. Yeah, that's even better.
Yeah. I'm waiting after this weekend. No, actually, it's starting to irritate me. She third Fridays she goes to get meat in the morning, so she's getting ready to leave and pick them up Awesome. Yeah.
Are you on some front? She really
Older. She's very loud. She looks like oh, that's good. Yeah. I think it was second off we laid camera now.
One, two. Keep on going. I'm gonna let Landy go all the way.
It's essay filling.
Yeah. Wait, I'll see where they. I think we have one more class. Right there, see? Sit right there. Am I gonna be in your way if I sit right here?
No, you're good.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Boys will be boys.
I remember we were sitting on our bottom back to the all the way down. Our feet are on the floor and
Third and first grade already did theirs, so this is second and fifth. I don't have my phone ready. Let's see.
Hi, Elijah. I gotta ask you something. Before, that one's a handicap.
Good morning, Palmer Elementary School. How are you doing this morning? Good. Well, good morning and welcome to our Q1 Student Black Knight Recognition Ceremony. My name is Whitney Freegee, and it is with great pride that we recognize today the students that have led by example here in our school for the first quarter. Before we continue, can I please have our student council officers up to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Please stand if you're able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. So it is always a special day when we're able to come together as a school community to celebrate the hard work, achievements, and the growth of our students. To the parents and families that are joining us today, both in person and via live stream, thank you for being here. Your support and your encouragement play such an important role in the success of our students, and we are continually grateful for your partnership. Teachers, you are the mentors and the inspiration behind the achievements that we're celebrating here today. Your unwavering support and dedication to our students, to their education, and to their personal development is nothing short of extraordinary. And we are very lucky to have all of you. Now turning our attention to the stars of our ceremony today, our students. Every single one of you is what makes our school so exceptional. The students that are receiving awards today are being recognized for consistently demonstrating our character traits for the months of September, October, and November. These awards are given for students both in the classroom as well as on the school bus. And these character traits include respect, responsibility, acceptance, inclusion, and gratitude. If your name is called to be recognized today, we're going to ask that you come forward, that you make your way up those stairs over there behind that black piano, and come up here where Mrs. Trio will give you your certificate. I will read all of the amazing things that your teacher said about you, and then you'll smile really big for a picture. Sound good? All right. And the only other thing I would ask is that we hold our applause. So we're going to be recognizing a lot of our friends today. So we're going to wait until everyone from the class from that grade level is called up. We'll get their picture and we'll give them all a big round of applause together. One more reminder that you are to be the most respectful audience member that you can be today. So I know you're all so excited, either getting awards yourself or excited for your classmates, so we can show them that we appreciate their efforts and their hard work with a nice round of applause. Can you show me how you will respectfully applaud your friends? That is perfect. Okay, and I want you to remember that although we're recognizing a bunch of our classmates up here today, you still have a lot of time to continue to demonstrate all of these things, and we have 3 more quarters for you to be recognized today, okay, or to be recognized this year. So with that, let's start our ceremony. We will start by recognizing our 5th grade students, starting with Robert Penny. Mrs. Lang is recognizing Robert for respect. She says that RJ is the kindest, most respectful student and makes me smile every day. RJ always has nice words to say to me and to his classmates, and if something is going wrong, he is the first one to say, "It's okay." Mrs. Lang would also like to recognize Garrett Zubrandt for responsibility. She says that Garrett is showing outstanding responsibility by getting to school every single day in the months of September and October. And even when he is running late in the morning, he still makes the effort to get up and get here. Mrs. DeMarco would like to recognize Neela McCombs for respect and responsibility. Mrs. DeMarco says that Neela has shown tremendous responsibility and respect. She is always doing what is expected of her, and she is ready for learning. She is respectful every morning when she enters the room and greets me and her classmates. Mrs. DeMarco would also like to recognize Isaac Oliver for respect and responsibility. She says that Isaac shows respect and responsibility throughout his school day. I know he values his learning because his work is always very neat and very organized. This shows a great amount of effort. Keep up the hard work, Isaac. Big round of applause for all of our fifth graders. Stay please from the handiwork. Parents, families, friends, if you want to come up and snap a picture, you can do that. Or from your seat, whatever you prefer. Okay, all right, go ahead, you can head back to your seat. Nice work. Okay, so now we're going to move to our fourth grade, starting with Mrs. Mary Williams' class, and she would like to recognize Julian Raucher for respect and responsibility. She says that Julian has proven himself to be respectful and responsible during the first quarter of school. As a new Palmer student, he leads by example at his table by consistently staying on task and following directions quickly. Mrs. Mary Williams would also like to recognize Cadence Kennedy for respect and responsibility. She says that Cadence keeps all of her work materials neat and organized, which allows her to always be on task. She starts all assignments straight away and works without distraction. She is also extremely thoughtful and gives small homemade gifts to peers and adults in the building. Mrs. Dandler would like to recognize Paxton Blazier for respect and responsibility. Paxton is the definition of respect and responsibility. He does whatever he can to help his teachers and his classmates at any point of the day. His attention to work is outstanding, and we are so lucky to have him in our class. And Mrs. Vanderbilt would also like to recognize Isabella Da Silva for respect and responsibility. Isabella embodies responsibility in the classroom. She monitors her own independent work and helps out whenever I need something. I am so happy Bella is part of my world. Big round of applause for all of our fourth grade students. Okay, so now we're going to recognize our third graders. We will recognize our third graders. We will start with Mrs. Whiting's class, and she would like to recognize Axel Rainey for respect and responsibility. Axel is the model noble knight. He follows directions quickly the first time they are given and works quick and confident to do the best of his ability. He is respectful to his teachers and classmates alike and is a role model for his peers to follow. Mrs. Whiting would also like to recognize Ariana Soriano for responsibility and inclusion. Ariana goes out of her way each day to make smart and safe choices, even when those around her are not. Ariana is willing to work and play with any member of our classroom, and this makes her a valued member of our classroom community. Mrs. Brigga would like to recognize Hayden Smollicombe for respect and responsibility. Mrs. Brigga says that Hayden is kind and a caring student and uses her manners everywhere she goes. She also shows responsibility by keeping her belongings neat to make sure she can access them easily. Mrs. Brigga would also like to recognize Jason Almy for responsibility. She says that Jason has proven to be a responsible third grader this year. He keeps his learning materials neat and organized so that he can always begin his work quickly. Big round of applause for our third grader. Stay right there, hold your certificate, okay, so that we can get the picture. All right, thank you, third graders. You can head back to your seats. Now we're going to recognize our second graders. So our first second grader being recognized today is being recognized by Mrs. Caldwell, and that is Elijah Barnum for responsibility. Elijah is an amazing line leader. He leads by example by being quiet and safe as he leads our class in the hallway. Mrs. Caldwell would also like to recognize Corbin Merrill for gratitude. Mrs. Caldwell says that Corbin has excellent manners. He always expresses his gratitude by saying please and thank you. Mrs. Reeves would like to recognize Tucker Shedd for respect. Tucker shows respect each and every day. He is always trying to help a student in need and wants all of his peers to be able to do their best. Mrs. Reeves would also like to recognize Trinity Stuckel for respect and responsibility. Trinity is a leader in and out of the classroom. I can always count on her to show respect to peers and to teachers. She always takes her time and completes assignments that she is proud of. Big round of applause for our second graders. All right, nice job. Congratulations. You can make your way back to your seat down the stairs, okay? So the next portion of our ceremony, we are going to recognize students from our special areas. So we will start with PE. Mr. Potenza would like to recognize Charlie Dewey for responsibility. He says that Charlie is always trying his best in class and is someone I can rely on. Someone that I can rely on to make great decisions. Mr. Potenza would also like to recognize Olivia Hands for responsibility. Olivia is always trying her best in class and is someone I can rely on to make great decisions in PE. Mrs. Saraceno would like to recognize Charlie Hyris for responsibility. Charlie is an awesome little Picasso. Her work is always exceptional. She takes her time, uses other ideas, and her projects always show how hard she's tried. I hope to see Charlie's artwork hanging in the middle school art gallery next year. Keep it up. Mr. Branyan would like to recognize Charles Boyce for respect. Charles shows respect every music class by following directions quickly and showing kindness to others. He always models proper use of manners, which will take him far. Keep up the great work, Charles. Mrs. Stevens would like to recognize Willow Stolarczyk for responsibility and gratitude. Willow always remembers her materials and joins her reading group promptly. She is always very grateful for anything that is put together to further assist her or anyone in our group. Mrs. Murphy would like to recognize Peyton Reckard for respect and gratitude. Being her first year at Palmer, Peyton has been a wonderful addition to our school community. Peyton is kind to others, respectful to her teachers, and grateful for everything she learns. Peyton's positivity and enthusiasm will help her meet many of her goals this year. Mrs. Murphy would also like to recognize Cole Almy for respect, gratitude, and inclusion. Cole is an enthusiastic learner who always thinks of others. He is respectful to his teachers and his classmates and is grateful for his learning. Mrs. LeClaire would like to recognize Ezekiel Barnum for respect and responsibility. She says that Ezekiel quickly and quietly puts away his things, and comes to the door when I arrive in the classroom to pick him up. And Mrs. Trigo would like to recognize Charles Boyce for respect and responsibility. I want to shout it from the rooftop how proud I am of Charles. He has taken on the responsibility of making sure he is here every day ready to learn. Not only that, but he is one of the most kind and respectful students. He always makes sure to say hello to me and give me a hug. Seeing his smile every day makes me so happy. Can we have a big round of applause for all of our special area winners? All right, congratulations. You can walk down the stairs and make your way back to your seat. All right, next up are our STEM awards. So these are awards that come from our STEM teachers. And we will start, Mrs. Calavota would like to recognize Allison Prorock for respect and responsibility. Allison is a joy to teach. She is always respectful and responsible. In science, she is enthusiastic, focused, and independent. She is a self-starter, an engineer, and an incredibly creative bird feeder. Mrs. Calavota would also like to recognize Jude Lavallee for respect and responsibility. Jude is a leader in our STEM classroom because he is always respectful and responsible. In addition, Jude's enthusiasm about learning in our STEM classes is contagious. Keep your excitement and curiosity, Jude. Mrs. Mulcahy LaChance would like to recognize Olivia Hands for respect. Olivia shows respect for her classmates and teachers in her words and actions every day. When disagreeing with others, she does so in a way that focuses on her ideas and treats others with dignity and grace. Mrs. Mulcahy LaChance would also like to recognize Christopher Brooks for respect and responsibility. Christopher is an engineering leader, always assuming the responsibility for even the most challenging engineering projects. He interacts with his team in a respectful manner, no matter what stage of team development the team is currently going through. Mr. Thompson would like to recognize Jake Emmett for responsibility. He says that Jake is doing a great job in coding and he works hard in every class. Mr. Thompson would also like to recognize Olivia Hands for responsibility. Olivia is doing a great job in coding and is far ahead of the rest of the class in her Code.org lesson. Ms. Ashley would like to recognize Carter Hagan for respect and responsibility. She says Carter is excelling in coding. He is respectful and responsible and stays on task. Ms. Ashley would also like to recognize Nico Rook for respect and responsibility. Nico is a student who excels in coding. Nico is always willing to help others and share his knowledge. Big round of applause for all of our STEM winners. Can you guys smile and nice and big and hold your certificates up so we can take your picture? All right, congratulations. You can make your way back to your seat. Thank you. The final portion of our awards today is for our school bus awards. So these students that are being recognized are students that may be a leader in the classroom, but they're also being safe and responsible in following our expectations on the school bus, which is really, really important so that we can all get to school and home from school safely. So we are going to recognize those students now. Our first recipient is from Miss Molly on bus 281, and she would like to recognize Coy Woodruff for respect. She says that Coy always follows school expectations and all bus safety rules on the school bus. Mr. Skinner would like to recognize Kale Conklin Maycumber for respect. Mr. Corey says that Kale always has a happy good morning for me when he gets on the school bus. Miss Becca on bus 301 would like to recognize Ellery Monroe for responsibility. Miss Becca says that Ellery is always willing to help with the little ones and to help the sub-bus driver. Mr. Brown would like to recognize Paxton Blazer for respect and responsibility. Paxton is always willing to help with buckling and unbuckling the 3 pre-K and UPK bus riders, and also keeping everyone from standing and out of the aisles. Mr. Brown would also like to recognize Landon Adams for respect and responsibility. He says that Landon treats everyone around him on the school bus with respect. Mr. Chuck would like to recognize Kira Wheeler for responsibility. He says that Kira is always helping out on the bus. She always stays seated and gets along with everyone. Mr. Chuck would also like to recognize Carson Terrell for responsibility. He says that Carson always lends a hand and is very helpful and polite when riding the school bus. Can we get a nice big round of applause for all of our bus awards? Smile big. All right, that concludes our quarter one Knights recognition ceremony. You all may make your way back down to your seats. Can we get one more big round of applause for all of our quarter one award winners? I want to take a minute to thank all of you for being such respectful audience members. And I was so proud to hear you cheering and congratulating your classmates and showing how happy you are for them to be recognized at our ceremony today. And remember, you all are a part of making our school exceptional, right? So if you didn't receive an award today, you have an opportunity in the coming rest of the school year to continue to do your best and receive a recognition. But we thank all of you for being polite in the audience today and for showing your friends how much you appreciate them. Thank you to our families that came out today in person and on live stream. I hope that you all have an amazing rest of the day. And we will have our students make their way out first. If parents and families would just stay seated until they make their way out. And then you can make your way out the back of the auditorium through the doors that you came in. Thanks again for being here. Have a great day, everyone.